Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into a really fascinating collision between futuristic intelligence and ancient wisdom. Because think about it. What if, one day, artificial intelligence could just read every spiritual book ever written? Every verse, every translation, the whole shebang. What if a machine could explain the Bhagavad Gita better than any human ever could? It's a breathtaking thought, right? But it immediately sparks a much deeper, honestly kind of a profound question. Can AI actually understand these sacred texts? Or is it literally just repeating words without a single drop of actual consciousness? So today we're exploring this incredible intersection of tech and spirituality. This isn't just an explainer about algorithms, you guys. It's a structured lesson about the soul, about consciousness, and the very essence of human existence.
Okay, so let's just quickly glance over our syllabus for today's lesson. We're going to cover the Great Paradox, the battlefield of Kurukshetra, some vocabulary and core concepts, intelligence versus true consciousness, the danger of digital shortcuts, and finally, the human journey. All right, let's get right into it.
Starting with Section 1, the Great Paradox. You know, modern AI isn't magic. It's a complex system trained on massive amounts of data. It learns patterns, predicts words, and responds in ways that just seem incredibly intelligent. Like today's AI can write beautiful poetry or simulate empathy in ways that feel deeply, surprisingly human. Yet inside the machine, well, there's no actual awareness there. There's no emotion, no suffering, no enlightenment. But despite this total lack of an inner life, millions of people right now are actually asking algorithms deeply spiritual questions about life, death, karma, and God. So we really have to ask ourselves, if a machine doesn't meditate, if it doesn't experience the actual friction of human life, can it ever truly understand the Bhagavad Gita? Or is it literally just repeating words without a drop of consciousness?
Which brings us to Section 2, the battlefield of Kurukshetra.
To really get the context, we need to answer this paradox. We've got to travel back, over 5,000 years back, to the legendary battlefield of Kurukshetra. Here, the great warrior Arjuna stood completely, utterly broken. He was confused and emotionally shattered by this impending war against his own relatives. And it's in this exact moment of total human collapse that Lord Krishna spoke to him, delivering words that would echo across eternity. You see, the Bhagavad Gita is born from this intense, visceral human crisis. It's not just some dry philosophical text. It's a profound conversation about existence itself, delivered right in a moment of ultimate human struggle.
Moving on to Section 3, vocabulary and core concepts. So, to figure out if a machine can actually grasp the Gita, we need to lay down some foundational definitions for our lesson. First up, according to the text, your true identity isn't your physical body, and actually, scratch that, it's not even your mind. It's the eternal soul. The soul is this inner observer that exists entirely beyond birth and death. It's a vital spark of life that a machine, which is built entirely out of silicon and code, well, it simply doesn't possess.
Building right on top of that, we have consciousness. The Gita tells us the true consciousness is divine awareness. It's a state of witnessing that originates beyond the material world entirely. It is completely unprogrammable, completely unmanufactured. And this right here is the stark dividing line between a self-aware living being and a calculated digital mind. I mean, no matter how advanced AI gets, if consciousness actually originates beyond the material world, then code is never going to create it.
Now, what's truly fascinating about these core spiritual concepts, like knowing you're the eternal soul, practicing detachment from outcomes, choosing discipline over desire, achieving inner mastery, and pursuing self-realization, is that they emphasize one massive truth. The Bhagavad Gita isn't meant to just be read, it's meant to be actively lived. And that pushes us right to the absolute edge of our question today. A human can live these teachings, sure, but can a machine actually live wisdom?
Let's unpack that in Section 4, Intelligence versus True Consciousness.
This really builds out our ultimate paradox. On one hand, AI has an absolutely incredible level of intelligence. Literally in seconds, it can flawlessly define and explain karma yoga, bhakti yoga, and jnana yoga. It summarizes verses and connects cross-cultural philosophies with just perfect accuracy. From a purely informational standpoint, it's an extraordinary teacher. But, on the other hand, true consciousness actually observes its own existence. It feels suffering. It actively transcends the ego and experiences genuine devotion. Think about it. A person could memorize every single verse of the Gita and still live their life completely consumed by anger or fear. Similarly, AI can process the words of Krishna perfectly, but knowing the dictionary definition of peace is not the same thing as actually feeling peace.
This powerful truth is a huge reminder for us. While a machine can simulate compassion and, output text that looks exactly like empathy, a simulation is never going to equal the spiritual awakening of a true, eternal soul. A machine has no inner observer. It can spit out absolutely beautiful words about enlightenment, but it remains entirely spiritually unconscious the whole time it's doing it.
This leads us to Section 5, the danger of digital shortcuts.
Look, AI can absolutely be a wonderful bridge to introduce people to spirituality, but if we trade the hard work of meditation and discipline for instant answers, we are missing out big time. The digital shortcut tempts us to just seek instant algorithmic answers, download quick information, and honestly, abandon deep thought entirely. But the spiritual path, it requires the exact opposite. It requires us to embrace necessary struggle. It demands practicing self-reflection and real discipline. It asks us to cultivate silence and inner observation. Remember, Krishna didn't hand Arjuna a shortcut or some quick summary cheat sheet of that battlefield. No, he guided him through a really difficult process of self-discovery. Truth just can't be downloaded. It has to be earned through experience.
Which brings us to our final section, the human journey within. Technology can for sure point us toward knowledge, but it absolutely cannot walk the spiritual path for us. Our profound uniqueness isn't found in our processing speed or our memory capacity. Machines have already beaten us at all of those things. What makes humans truly extraordinary is our profound ability to seek deeper meaning, to question our own existence, to suffer, to love, and ultimately, to truly awaken. AI can imitate wisdom perfectly, but only a conscious being can undergo the kind of transformation of the self that the Gita is actually talking about.
As technology continues to rapidly evolve over these next few years, the real challenge isn't going to be whether AI can perfectly understand and mimic humanity. No, the real challenge will be whether humanity takes the time, away from the screens, away from the algorithms, to truly understand itself. We have to master the mind and seek the eternal, which is something absolutely no machine can ever replace.
So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to really challenge your perspective long after this explainer ends. In a world filled with machines that can think, will humans still remember how to feel? Will we become more conscious or just more mechanical? As we navigate a future alongside intelligent machines, let's make sure we don't outsource our own spiritual journey. Thanks for joining me for today's lesson, and keep asking those deep questions.